Hey everyone, this is Carla R. Jenkins, and I just finished taking the GitHub Copilot beta exam. So I want to talk about both the exam format and experience. So this exam is through PSI, and I took it online because I do not live near a PSI testing center. And what I liked about PSI since my last time, which was 4 years ago, is the ability to upload, my ID. That really helped because doing that, I didn't have to go through all of the proctored things. Now, I did have to do a whole circumference of my room to show that I was the only person in there, and I used that door my webcam. However, it was much easier onboarding. In addition to that, I also did my system check prior to, like, 3 days before the co-pilot exam, and that was very helpful because that meant my system would approve of taking the exam. For the beta, as you know, for now the exam for the beta, as you know, it has more questions. Normally you have 60 to 75, it had 80. I would highly recommend the free Microsoft learning path that they have available for the Copilot. However, I would recommend that you do also the GitHub Copilot application security Microsoft Learning Path because that's something I did. And third resource that I used was Essentials of GitHub Copilot, and it did everything like the background of the different types of Copilot plans, as well as application security, how it integrates with Microsoft Azure because GitHub is owned by Microsoft. That was extremely helpful, as well as documentation. No matter what you're doing, whether it's Microsoft, GitHub, any type of code, you always have to read documentation to really know how it functions. Also, please have hand on. So, therefore, GitHub Copilot has free 30-day trials. You also have a free option if you are a student. So if you're a student, because I just graduated from my associate, you would qualify for a student. So check that out through GitHub. There's different enrollment and registration for students to get it free. However, you can get GitHub Copilot for free. I would do hands on. I would know all of the different types of Copilot plans. And what I also use for resources is Exam Pro GitHub Foundation because it's a beta exam. There isn't anything really out there yet. However, I would recommend Exam Pro GitHub Foundation because it has a Copilot section. You can get the free version on Free Code Camp for GitHub Foundations, and they have a Copilot section. Also looked at the GitHub issues, actions, as well as the administration. I think administration, but anything that was regarding the chat, the co-pilot, the issues because you're resolving issues in the chat. That those are the sections in the GitHub Foundation for Exam Pro that I use to help me better study for my pilot. So what's next? I'm looking forward to taking the GitHub Foundation. I received the free exam voucher through the May opportunity. I think it was May or June opportunity with GitHub. So I will be taking that next. And the beauty of my going back and taking it is because I onboarded with my ID, it's already in the system. So once again, that saves me through onboarding. But I wanted to come on here, give my impression of the exam experience through PSI, as well as my first impressions of GitHub Copilot because this is my first GitHub. I have taken a lot of Microsoft exams. As I mentioned, Microsoft owns GitHub and Microsoft goes through Pearson VUE. However, GitHub goes through PSI. And as I mentioned before, I would recommend going through the official GitHub Copilot Microsoft Learning Path, but also the application security for GitHub Copilot Microsoft Learning Exam, hands-on experience, reading the documents, the essentials of GitHub Copilot, and finally, what I used was the Exam Pro GitHub Foundations Copilot section, issue section, and onboarding section. So you can go through that. But I wanted to do this, but because also if anyone else was doing Copilot and they didn't have any resources or nowhere to look, and it's still, I believe, in beta, this video may help you. As always, get in touch with me at Carla R. Jenkins on LinkedIn, Carla Jenkins TV, YouTube. And thank you for everyone for taking out the time to watch this video as well as support. Thank you. I'll see everybody next video.